Alright people, what's up everyone, and welcome to another video, and I'm here to give you my quick thoughts slash review, whatever, for the premiere episode of Halo. That's right, I gotta watch it early. Shout out to crprights.com. They got me a chance to watch it early. I did a review for them also. I'm not sure if it's up yet as of posting this. When I'm recording this, it's not up yet, so by the time I post this, maybe it'll be up. I'll link crprights.com in the description because they're awesome. If you want some really honest, very trustworthy reviews for movies, and very active too. Like, they review stuff all the time, and go check them out. They're great. So I've been writing for them for a little while. You might even see me wear a shirt. I should have worn my CRP Rights shirt for this review. I'm an idiot. Anyway, you would barely be able to see it anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter. I am wearing a video game shirt. Look at that, Danganronpa. But anyway, yeah, Halo the series. I was very excited to watch this, and also very worried at the same time, because of course this has been in development for so long. I'm actually surprised it's even coming. Honestly, a couple months ago when they did that little reveal trailer during the Game Awards, like that little teaser, I was like, yeah, that's right, there is a Halo series coming. Like, at the point, I put it so far in the back of my mind because I just never knew it was. I never figured it would actually happen, and it did. I watched the first episode, so I was excited and worried, and I can't spoil anything. Obviously, I don't want to, even if the episode was out, but I can't spoil it, obviously, because it's not even out yet for another week at this point. But I liked it. I did. I liked it, but I have problems with it. 100%, I definitely do. But I enjoyed it. I really did. It's a little less than an hour, but it has some good stuff in it. The first 20 minutes have some awesome action. You immediately know that Master Chief is a badass. They didn't screw up Master Chief when it comes to action, because he shows up and he whips some ass, and it's awesome. The first 20 minutes are great. Slow build up in that 20 minutes to get to the awesome stuff, but you appreciate it more when the awesome stuff happens. Dude, there is a scene in the beginning, I don't even want to spoil it, for the first few minutes, where someone gets killed so horribly and so violently. I was like, whoa. I was very surprised by that. That's barely a spoiler. A lot of people die in Halo. So me saying someone dies is not a spoiler. But there is a kill, the first kill also. So you'll know what I'm talking about when you watch it. That is like, whoa. Like, that's way more violent than any of the Halo games. And I know the Halo games for most part rated M, the last two games withstanding. But they've always been kind of tamer on the M-rated side, compared to like Gears of War, to like no comparison. But it has its fair share of blood. But that shit was violent. I was like, whoa, that took me back. But the action in the first 20 minutes are great. The elites, the Covenant themselves, look pretty damn good. The special effects look really good. All the space shots, all the worlds and ships, for the most part, look pretty good. There's some wonky moments here and there, like some of the animations look a little weird. The lighting doesn't really help some of the Covenant at times. Like, it'll be a broad daylight scene and Master Chief's like fighting one elite, and it looks a little weird. I think there's even times where Master Chief himself is like CG'd. But for the most part, I would say like 80% of the special effects are either good or great. 20% are wonky and to that point where like, eh. But when it comes to a TV show, if this is a movie, then that wouldn't really be acceptable. Because it's a TV show, I give it some leeway. I know it has a pretty big budget, but it's also, I think, 9 episodes. So like, you have to, like, that's an hour each episode. So I mean, you gotta really break that budget up. That's not almost 9 hours of footage right there. Like, when it's a movie, 2 hours, you have less time. You could use that budget for more things. You know what I mean? Really focus on special effects. But the first episode had some really great special effects. For the most part, the action was pretty good in the first 20 minutes. It does slow down from there. Some of the writing is a little, now I'm getting into negatives. Some of the writing is, I would say probably most of the writing in this episode is pretty generic. Not bad, it's just really predictable and generic. Like, I don't want to say like particular lines, but there's a lot of characters that just show up to tell another character something, like, you need to complete this, or you need to show me progress, or whatever. And one character's like, oh, I have progress, and then they just look at like their progress and look evil or whatever. Like, just like generic stuff. I don't know, like typical like villain stuff. Even though the character's not really supposed to be a villain, but I'm not spoiling that. But also, some of the changes to the lore, I'm not really 100% with so far. Like, this is like a slight negative, because who knows, it might work out later on. But for this one episode, I'm not really a fan of some of the changes, especially with Master Chief, what they're trying to do with him and trying to make him more of a human character. Um, I'll just say one thing. There's something towards the end of the episode I wish they didn't do. Not that I wish they didn't do, period. I just wish they didn't do in this episode, let's just say. You watch the episode, I'm sure you'll know what I mean. And honestly, you probably already know what I mean, but you'll see. Yeah, there's some they do with his character, like actual character, like his person, that I'm like, I don't know. It seems kind of generic and stuff. Like, I'm sure in the books they do that too, but like in the games, I like that Master Chief is still very much a mystery. But those are also video games, so this has to have a story. I get it. Some of the new characters are decent. Like, you have some characters that show up from the games. Of course, you have Captain Keyes, Miranda Keyes, they're here. Halsey, of course. We haven't seen Cortana yet, so Cortana's not in this episode yet. Yeah, not really. Yeah. So the characters are alright. It's just I feel like the dialogue wasn't like the best. And then there's some stuff towards the end. I'm like, like it feels like very much a premiere episode, like the first episode, where like they're building up obviously for the next few episodes. So they have little hints at villains and little hints at where the story's going to go for certain characters, but it felt too predictable and generic. Like, so the first 20 minutes are awesome. I really liked it. In retrospect, when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, that was cool. In retrospect, I really liked it. I really thought about it more. I was like, yeah, that was good stuff, to the point where I actually wanted to watch it again. So that first 20 minutes at least, because I thought it was really well done. And then after that, it just like slowed down, a lot of dialogue heavy stuff, and that's fine with me. But the dialogue just wasn't that great. Yeah, so overall, there are some weaknesses. Some of the dialogue's not great. Some of the stuff they're doing with certain characters, again, I can't spoil things. That's the only reason why I'm being so freaking vague. Not great, but some of the special effects are really good. I should say, Pablo Schreiber as Master Chief, even though I don't like what they're doing with his character, I think he's great. He does gruff voice right. He sounds not like Steve Downes, but he has the essence of Steve Downes down pat. Whoa, because his name's Downes. I think his performance is going to probably be the highlight of the entire show. So that's good. Pablo Schreiber I actually really like. So he was in Den of Thieves. I know he was in Orange is the New Black. I've heard he's great in that. But I really like him as an actor. I think he's really good. So I'm glad he's good in it. So yeah. So that's really all I wanted to talk about. Just real quick review. If I had to give it a score, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I feel like most people are giving around 6, 7, and I think that's right for this first episode. I think a 7 out of 10 is fair. There's some good action, some good performances. Some good special effects. It's an okay start to what could be a really good adaptation. It's different. Don't like some of the differences, but we'll see how it plays out. I'm really, really worried about the Covenant and the whole, there's a person that's controlling it. I'm sure they just did that so they didn't have to have a CG enemy the entire season. You know what I mean? Like, have a female person, lady, human. That's what the world was looking for. Saying everything else besides what I wanted. And have her be the villain, so we don't need a CG a bad guy. You know what I mean? No Atriox in this as the bad guy. We got Lady who controls Covenant, which is very weird, but we'll see how that works. I mean, it could still be kind of cool, but it's very obviously did that so they don't have to have a special effect character the entire time, because the budget is probably big, but not that big. But who knows? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe later on she'll turn into a giant monster, or maybe she's not even the main villain, and the main villain will reveal himself. Maybe like an arbiter will be there. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, so that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. 7 out of 10. So that was a little bit longer than I wanted, but whatever. Anyway, check out crprights.com, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. All right, I love you. Bye. Mwah.